Last week on Living Free Alaska, we made it to Haines and hopped aboard the Alaska Marine Highway to Skagway, gateway to one of the most breathtaking drives in the north, the South Klondike Highway. We explored hidden gems in Whitehorse, Yukon's vibrant capital, and now we're headed south. This week, we hit the iconic Alaska Highway, spotting wildlife, soaking in hot springs, sampling cinnamon buns, and camping in picture-perfect spots you'll want to add to your own bucket list. Only here on Living Free Alaska. When we left you last week, we were wrapping up our visit to Whitehorse, the vibrant capital of the Yukon. In today's episode, we're picking up right where we left off. It's 5 p.m., which is definitely later than we normally roll out, but we're hitting the Alaska Highway southbound with the goal to get a few good hours behind us before finding a quiet roadside pull-off to call home for the night. Not long into our drive, we realized a few of our RVing to Alaska members were camped nearby, so of course we had to make a detour. We pulled off for a short break and had the chance to say hello, catch up, and hand out our very first Spotted in the Wild sticker, something special we give out when we bump into our community on the road. Meeting our followers face to face is always such a highlight, and today was no exception. Back on the road with the clock ticking, it was time to find a place to call home for the night. But of course, it wasn't that simple. Like a couple of RVing Goldilocks, we rolled past spot after spot. One pull-out was already packed with other travelers. Another was too uneven to level out the rig. And one just gave us that gut feeling that said, maybe not tonight. We kept rolling, hoping for something better, and eventually we found it. A quiet little pullout nestled next to a still frozen creek, with the sound of water barely trickling beneath the ice. It was peaceful, remote, and just far enough off the highway to feel like we had the place to ourselves. The air was crisp, the light was soft, and it felt like the perfect end to a long day on the road. This spot? Yeah, this one was just right.
It's going to be a good night. We just left Whitehorse at 5 p.m. It is now 9:16 and we're set up for camp. So after dinner, we left Whitehorse and drove for 4 hours. We are now sitting in BC. Did we lose time when we went to BC? No. Same time zone, Pacific time zone.
Same time zone.
And we're now sitting in a little sliver of BC the Yukon jumps into before we go into Watson Lake. We're 200 and some kilometers from Watson Lake. That'll be a deciding factor for tomorrow's run. Whether we go elk camp or Cassiar. We don't know yet. We're not going to know until we get to the junction, probably.
We woke up the next morning feeling well rested after a quiet night in our little roadside pullout. It's always amazing how peaceful these unexpected stops can be. After a quick breakfast and some hot coffee, we packed up and hit the road once again, this time with a solid plan in place. Today we've decided to stick with the Alaska Highway and follow it southbound all the way down. There's a reason we chose this route, and we'll get into that a little later in the video. But for now, we've got fresh miles ahead of us, and we're excited to see what the road has in store. This stretch of the Alaska Highway has a way of reminding you just how remote the North really is. For miles, there are no towns, no services, and often not even a bar of cell signal. Out here, it's just you, the road, and the wilderness. So when you spot a vehicle pulled off to the side, it's more than just courtesy. It's good road etiquette to check in and make sure everything's okay. And today, that's exactly what we did. Because when you're traveling in places this isolated, looking out for one another is just part of the journey. Turns out he was a part of a convoy of RV transport drivers. The others had already headed to Whitehorse to grab parts, and the driver who stayed behind didn't need anything from us. but he was genuinely appreciative that we stopped. We were glad to offer help just in case. Just before reaching Watson Lake and almost on cue, right after passing a "Watch for Caribou" sign, we spotted our very first herd of caribou right off of the road. It's always a treat to see them, and honestly, they never disappoint. Moments like these are exactly why we love taking our time along this highway, because you never know what's waiting around the next bend. After passing through Watson Lake, we officially said goodbye to the Yukon and crossed back into British Columbia. Another clear sign that we're making our way south. It's actually a bit bittersweet leaving the Yukon behind, but with every mile, we're reminded that a new chapter of the journey is just beginning. This stretch between Watson Lake and Fort Nelson is known as one of the most wildlife-rich sections of the entire Alaska Highway, and today it absolutely delivered. First up, we spotted a group of wood bison, massive, shaggy, and completely unfazed by traffic as they grazed along the roadside. These iconic animals are known to frequent this area, and it's always an impressive sight to see them up close. After hours on the road, it was time to stretch our legs and give the dogs a chance to do the same. On big drive days like this one, it's easy to get caught up in the miles and forget to stop and simply enjoy the view. Back on the road and just a few miles down the highway, we started to see bear after bear. We counted 5 black bears in all, each one doing his own thing, snacking on spring greens, wandering the ditches, or just lumbering along like they owned the place. Encounters like these are what make this drive unforgettable. As exciting as it is to spot wildlife along the highway, it's just as important to remember to view them from a safe distance and always stay inside your vehicle. These are wild animals in their natural habitat, and while they may seem calm or curious, they can be unpredictable. Respecting their spaces keeps both you and the animals safe and ensures that everyone traveling these roads can continue to enjoy these incredible encounters responsibly.
We stopped here at the Whirlpool Rapid site of the Liard River, just off the Alcan Highway. And nice big pull-off here, but we've noticed there's been a recent fire. I don't know if it was over the winter. I'm guessing it was probably last summer or fall, but quite a fire here. And I was looking at the trees like, what the heck? It's weird, they're orange. Well, I believe that's a fire retardant drop, an airdrop of fire retardant on these trees, and had left them orange, so it had scarred the trees orange. But that's about the only way to get a good response up here in this remote area is by air. So they launched from probably a service center somewhere in Liard area,
Fort Nelson,
and came up here and did the airdrop on the fire here. I'm also speculating, don't know for sure, but I'm guessing this is probably caused from a campfire that wasn't put all the way out. Just looking at where it had started and how it had burned through the forest. Yep, that's just what my thinking is.
your brother would be proud.
Yep. Well, why else would there be a fire here? Because people cause fires.
Yeah, it's pretty evident. Can you say fault?
Yeah, look at the different rocks. Solid, not petrified, but just solid basalt, and then this is all flaky shale or something different. What I'm impressed with is the power of water right here. You see where the river is at currently. It's way down there. But the river has pushed all these logs up onto this rock bar here during its
Probably summer
flood.
rush.
Yeah, during its summer rush. That's pretty cool. Lots of power with the water. And this is just a finger. The main channel's over there. Pretty cool spot.
With daylight fading and the promise of hot water calling our names, it was time to make the final push towards today's finish line, Layard River Hot Springs Provincial Park. After a full day of driving, wildlife sightings, and roadside stops, soaking in those natural hot springs sounded like the perfect way to unwind. So we pointed the rig south, turned up the music, and cruised towards one of our favorite rest stops on the Alaska Highway. Now you might be wondering, does it ever get old, seeing bear after bear, bison after bison? Nope, not really. Every single sighting feels like a little gift from the road, whether it's a massive bison lumbering across the highway or a black bear snacking on some dandelions. These moments never lose their magic. Out here, it's just part of the rhythm of the North, and we're here for every bit of it.
They're a bit obstinate. They don't want to move. Looks like they're clearing a path. Careful. Got this guy on the right. Oh, there he goes.
There he goes.
There's a little guy up there.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Look at the little guys. That one right there. Yeah. Careful, this guy.
Yeah, he's edging up.
Hi, buddy.
Toby,
I have her in a chokehold. Sophie, were you gonna go say hi to the Tatanka? Huh? You silly girl.
So we came in today and we were told that there's only one or two sites left. Actually, one site left, and it's a double site, which would be this site here. As we were driving around, there were people leaving this site. So as they were leaving, we simply pulled right in. And as we were pulling in, another couple was pulling in with their truck and tent. So I think it is full. But normally this whole outer loop is available too. Probably May 1, this will be available. But there's some stuff here. And the best thing about here is the hot springs. The soaking pool is that way. That's where we're going.
Hello. Well, we're back here at one of our favorite stops of the North, Laird Hot Springs, and we really struggled today. Do we go south on the Cassiar towards the ocean, or do we continue east and hit the hot springs? Hot Springs 1.
So yeah, we're here at the hot springs. But really, we did check out the ferry from Prince Rupert down to Vancouver Island. And there was space available for the truck and camper.
Well, it was twofold.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
There was space available for the truck and camper. And there was space available for us to sit. But it being an 18-hour cruise, it would have been nice to maybe have a bed to rest in, or at least a lounger to sleep on. But there were no cabins available, and there were no reservable loungers available either, leaving us to sleep in some sort of chair or floor situation. And that just didn't sound any kind of fun.
Well, and the second part to it too was The earlier ferry on Friday was sold out, so we would have had to wait till Tuesday to take the big ship. And we didn't need a whole week to get down to Prince Rupert. So we decided to go a different route, hit the Alcan all the way down.
Yep.
However, we're not going to go all the way down.
There's going to be a couple different loops and offshoots and this and that we're going to try and take a look at.
And we're going to hit some new roads that we've never done before.
That'll be nice.
All right. Hot springs are calling.
Hey, always remember to stay hydrated at the hot springs.
Yes, very important. What are you hydrating with?
Barley pop.
All right, we'll see you in the water. The Layard River Hot Springs, tucked away in northern British Columbia, is one of those rare places that feels like it was just made for weary travelers. Surrounded by lush boreal forest, these soothing mineral waters flow naturally into a series of steaming pools, creating a haven of warmth in the heart of the wilderness. Whether you're behind the wheel for hours or days, slipping into these springs melts the tension away almost instantly. There's something magical about the contrast, stepping into water that's comfortably hot while breathing in the cool northern air. With birdsong in the trees and steam rising all around you, it's peaceful, grounding, and deeply rejuvenating. The springs are part of a protected provincial park, and BC Parks has done a great job of maintaining the rustic boardwalks, changing facilities, and natural feel of the space. It's not a luxury resort, it's something better. It's raw, real, and refreshingly off-grid. For many travelers on the Alaska Highway, Layard isn't just a stop, it's a ritual, a reset button, a moment to pause, soak, and remember why we chose the road less traveled in the first place. After a much-needed reset at the hot springs, it was time to hit the road again and get back to work, logging the Alaska Highway southbound for the Milepost. Today's drive is shaping up to be an absolute stunner. Blue skies, bright sunshine, and the kind of crisp northern air that makes you want to roll down the windows and take it all in. It's a perfect backdrop for what's ahead, the Northern Rocky Mountains. This stretch of highway between Layard and Fort Nelson is one of the most scenic on the route, with sweeping views, winding climbs, and that wide open feeling that makes driving through the north so unforgettable. We couldn't ask for a better day to take it all in. We only have one horn. What happened? Were you saying hi? Were you saying hi? Yes. You always have to make yourself known, don't you? Welcome to the heart of the Northern Rockies, Muncho Lake. With its striking jade green waters, when not covered in ice, and rugged mountain peaks rising straight from the shoreline, this place feels like it was pulled from a postcard. Tucked right alongside the Alaska Highway, Muncho Lake is a breathtaking reminder of just how wild and beautiful northern British Columbia really is. After a quick stop at the Northern Rockies Lodge for lunch, we were back on the road again, soaking up the beauty. Whether you're driving through or stopping to stay a while, it's impossible not to be awed at the sheer serenity of this alpine gem. As we leave the turquoise waters of Muncho Lake behind, the road begins to climb, winding its way up and over Summit Pass, the highest point along the Alaska Highway. From there, we descend into the Toad River Valley, where the scenery just keeps delivering. What we didn't expect, though, was that we'd end up there for the night. A few kilometers off the highway, we found an unmarked pullout along a quiet riverbed, completely free and boasting million-dollar views, and not another soul in sight. Sometimes the best campsites are the ones you never planned for.
It doesn't get much better than this. Today, we find ourselves at McDonald Creek in the Stone Mountain Provincial Park in British Columbia. Behind me is a peak we haven't found the name of yet. I believe it's in the, we found it earlier. What was it? Anyway, I'll try to put a name of the range that this peak is in, but it's a pretty impressive little peak. And I'm currently kind of standing on McDonald Creek right now. It is frozen over still, and this is April 30th. So we still got a frozen creek up here in the mountains. Beautiful day. We're camping right over there. And this is actually a pull-off off of the Alcan. It is in the Milepost. And we decided, well, shoot, let's go see what it looks like. It looks so nice that we decided to stay a while. So we're camped out overnight here. I've got, let's see, what do I have? I've got a bacon-wrapped pork tenderloin on a barbecue right now. And just waiting for that to cook. Could be a great dinner. Beautiful out here. Amazing. Clear, blue-bird skies today. The sun's about to go behind the mountain in front of me. But all around, it's just amazing. And look, if you look over my shoulder, there is our camper. Way over there. It's a beautiful location. Can't beat this. No highway noise. Nothing here. Hardly a trace of people. There's some dog prints. Are they wolf? Are they coyote? Are they regular dogs? I don't know. But it's beautiful out here. Every so often you see a little bit of green trying to poke through. Just the sign of spring is happening out here. I'm not sure what this little plant is, but it's a survivor. Survived the winter, long cold winters, and it's now poking through the riverbed here at McDonald Creek. Little teeny guy down there. With these warm temperatures, it's, I think it was 51 degrees that I saw earlier today. With these warm temperatures and our direction, our heading south, we are seeing signs of spring more and more each day. The roadsides are just a little bit more green. The buds in the trees are just a little bit larger. Haven't seen any flowers yet. I think we're still off a little ways for that. But spring is shortly on the horizon. And I think we're catching up to it as we head south. It's been a great trip so far. Really am looking forward to seeing more of BC and then getting into Washington, and we'll be full on like summer almost in Washington. Well, what we would consider summer as a northerner, as Alaskan. It's going to be warm. Well, I sure hope anyway. And also being able to see family while we're there in Washington. It's going to be nice. Mom and dad and brothers, cousins, nieces and nephews, new additions to the family. Yes, Brewer, talking about you. Can't wait to see you. All right. It's going to be nice. And another sign of spring right here. We're starting to get blossoms on the willow trees. We still have snow-capped mountains and icy rivers, but the willows are starting to bloom. Spring is around the corner. Yep.
That was a nice overnight stop. Quiet.
Right, quiet. I mean, way off the highway. Real nice, for sure.
I wouldn't say we were way off the highway. I could still hear the highway.
Once in a while.
Only when we were outside.
Yes. But yeah, great views of these mountains behind us. We still haven't decided what that mountain's called.
No.
And what was the range it was in?
A Tower of London.
The Tower of London range. All right. Yep.
But now, we purposely didn't eat breakfast this morning. We are getting
strategy.
A later start than normal.
No, 10 o'clock.
I mean, earlier.
There you go.
I'm sorry. Coffee hasn't quite hit.
Yeah, that's obvious.
We are about to take you to one of our favorite cinnamon bun stops on the Alaska Highway.
Sounds like a great plan to me.
All right, I can taste it now.
Yep, just down the road. Well, over the mountain and then through the woods and then down the road.
Yep. All right, let's go.
As we worked our way back out to the highway the next morning, we spotted a little local hanging out near the edge of the road, a grouse, just strutting his stuff without a care in the world. These birds can be surprisingly bold, and this one seemed in no rush to get anywhere. Just another reminder that out here, you're never really alone on the road. Back on the road, we continued to log the highway for the milepost for any entries that we found that needed to be corrected. Since re-entering British Columbia, the job has gotten a little trickier. Unlike in the Yukon or Alaska, BC only marks kilometer posts every 5K, which means tracking distances gets a little less precise. If we spot something new we want to include, we often have to backtrack quite a ways just to get an accurate reading. More than once, we've realized we passed an entry without logging it, which means flipping a U-turn and going back to find it. It's a slower process than we expected, but it's all a part of the work that goes into keeping the milepost detailed and accurate for all of you traveling this route after us. And if you're following in our footsteps, this next stop is one you absolutely do not want to miss, especially if you've got a sweet tooth. Just up ahead is the famous Tetsa River Lodge, home to what many say are some of the best cinnamon buns in all the land. Baked fresh daily, gooey, and downright legendary, these buns are reason enough to pull over. It's one of those classic Alaskan highway stops that lives up to the hype. But don't just swing in for the buns. Step inside their cozy little shop and take a look around. From homemade jams and jerky to quirky souvenirs and warm northern hospitality, it's a charming stop that captures the spirit of the highway. Trust us, this is one detour your taste buds will thank you for.
Welcome to Tetsa River Lodge. This has been one of our favorite stops on the Alcan as we're going up and down. And this is Ben and Gail.
Hello.
They are the owners, operators. Ben has been here forever.
Forever.
Gail has been here for not quite so forever. And they both love it. Thanks, guys, for welcoming us to your lodge again. And
We love
for the
you guys.
hospitality. It's been amazing.
Our pleasure. Keep up the good work.
Well, keep up the good work with the cinnamon buns, too. Oh, my. We did have one each. We couldn't share. And we don't share these. I don't share well when it comes to this good stuff.
Right?
So the cinnamon buns are great. Coffee's always hot and amazing. So thank you, guys.
Thank
Our
you,
pleasure.
too.
Yeah.
And here at the lodge, what all do you offer travelers as they're coming through besides your cinnamon buns?
Ben does quite a large range of artisan meats. So it's all made here by Ben, and it's all packaged. We also have homemade soups, fresh bread, the soups again, this guy. We have a campground, 15 amp, beautiful, beautiful water here. Sewer, hot showers, big washrooms, laundry, coin laundry, and
Totes and gnomes.
and I have all my handmade totes that I make here, especially, and all my gnomes, and pretty much everything is pretty handpicked what we bring. We're pet friendly. We just ask that people keep their pets leashed, but they're welcome to be here.
As always, we do enjoy coming through. We missed them last October when we came up the road. They were already closed, but so glad that we were able to catch you early this season.
Yay.
And thank you for the cinnamon buns.
No.
Yeah.
Our pleasure.
Willing to break diet for those.
Oh, yeah.
Every day.
Absolutely.
Every day.
They're calorie free.
Right.
You just don't
They
count.
don't
No,
count.
that-
Yeah. Just don't count them.
Wonderful. Well, and I think I'm gonna love the sweater I'm about to buy from you.
All right.
And thank you for the gift package. It's
Oh,
very,
you're
very
welcome.
Yeah,
You're
very nice.
welcome.
Very nice.
So, if you're in the area, what mile or kilometer are you at?
We're 72 miles north of Fort Nelson.
There you go.
Just keep going north. 72 miles.
lots of
Set
signs.
your odometer.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you can't miss them on the side of the road. So, it's very well signed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you so much.
I'll see you again.
Okay.
Yep. Take care, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was.
Take care.
They also have gasoline. And yeah, it's a bit expensive, but if you need it, you need it. And the sign's right there. No sniveling. Just get it and go. Actually, get a cinnamon bun and then go.
With our bellies full of cinnamon goodness and just 72 miles left to Fort Nelson, there's still one more climb ahead, Steamboat Pass. This stretch marks a turning point on the Alaska Highway. Whether you're heading north or south, it's here that you truly feel the power and presence of the Northern Rockies. Towering peaks, sweeping valleys, and a sense of scale that makes you feel both incredibly small and incredibly lucky to be here. It's that final reminder, or the first, depending on your direction, of the wild, rugged beauty that defines this northern route. Remember how I mentioned we end up flipping a lot of U-turns while working on the milepost? Well, here's a perfect example. Last year, a few YouTubers highlighted a particular pull-off on the left side of the highway, but when we got there, it was clear things had changed. The area had been regraded and new guard posts were installed to discourage anyone from stopping there, yet it was still listed in the milepost. So we did what we do, turned around, double-checked the spot, and discovered a newly created pull-off just 2 kilometers down the road. That's the one travelers should be using now, and it is exactly why we're out here, making sure the information in the book stays accurate and up to date, one U-turn at a time. It might take us a few extra miles, but ensuring travelers like yourself having the right information is always worth the detour. As we make our way closer to Fort Nelson, signs of changing seasons were all around us. Patches of green grass started to return, trees just beginning to bud. But along with that, the new growth came stark reminders of what happened here last summer. Charred trees and blackened ground marked the path of the Fort Nelson fire, which forced the evacuation of the entire town for nearly 2 weeks. Fortunately, a shift in the wind spared Fort Nelson itself, but areas like Parker Lake weren't so lucky. This region was hit hard, and the scars of that wildfire are still painfully visible. It's a sobering contrast to the beauty of the drive, and a reminder of just how powerful and unpredictable nature can be in the north. We've arrived at Triple G Hideaway in Fort Nelson. After a full day of scenic miles, wildlife sightings, and a few unexpected detours, it feels good to get settled in. And this is where we'll leave you for this week. Thanks for riding along with us, and we hope you've enjoyed the journey as much as we are. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time as we continue our trek south on the legendary Alaska Highway. You're such slackers. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you are notified whenever we post again. And lastly, we hope that you will join us here next time on Living Free Alaska.